Okay. Oh, wow. Where should we start here? Well, I just came back from Oaxaca, Mexico, and I was led by the spirits, the ancestors. And the reason why I say that is because, um, you know, indigenous Mexican Americans, should I say, have been um, migrating back and forth for thousands of years. But this is just a little that is documented here. Anyone can check it out. You can look up Indigenous Mexican Americans. That's Wikipedia. And it says right here many of the Indigenous Mexican Americans hail from the indigenous people of Oaxaca, with California being home to between 100,000 to 150,000 indigenous Oaxacans. Yes. Um, so I said that to say, you know, they have been migrating through here, and we are talking about the indigenous. What indigenous mean? Um, okay, let's look at that. Okay, indigenous. Indigenous originated or occurring nationality in a particular place, native. Okay. Two, inhabitant or existing in the land from the earliest times or from before the arrival of the colonists. Yes. Okay. So we see that indigenous mean that you were there before the colonizers, you know, different tribes. And we all know that Oaxaca is very diverse with the most tribal uh, identity in Mexico. So I just wanted to throw that in there. But not just that, we can also see that Mexico, you know, in getting this independence back in 1821. Okay, so we talking about that's before slavery ended here, should I say, and Louisiana. Uh, you know, we looking at what 1857. You know, that they could have, but it took the requirement of the court or legislative intervention. Slavery was officially abolished, and the portion of the state union control by the state constitution of 1864 during the American Civil War. Hmm. So it was abolished in 1864. And then we're talking about what Civil War. Let's just talk about that just for a second here, because we're looking at it saying those that come in the Oaxacans into the Americas, what they have down documented is okay. Well, let me go here for a second because okay, my people, we migrated from Louisiana going over into Pittsburgh, California. And the reason why I brought that up is because originally Pittsburgh, California, was settled in 1839 as Rancho Los Medanos. Yes, the area, almost 10,000 acres, was issued to Californios, um, Jose Antonio Mesa, and his brother, um, uh, yeah, Josh Ming- Miguel, under a Mexican land grant by then Governor Juan uh, Porcetas uh, Alvarado. Okay, I'm not great with my Spanish. Yes, but one of the final land grants issued prior to the formation of California as a state. Yes, so we're looking at this is where they were given, uh, you know, uh, the the help to um, to acquire 10,000 acres, which later became Pittsburgh, California. So, why is that important? That's important because um, that's important because we see that where is it here? It was very important that I mention this. Sorry about that, but if you would stay with me here. Uh, okay, here, check this out. Oaxacans in America. You can Google that and come up with this. The Oaxacans have been coming to the United States since the 1940s in search of better jobs and wages. The Vocero program, which ran from 1942 to 1964, brought in seasonal agricultural workers for Mexico to meet U.S. food supply needs during the World War II and the late 1980s. Legislation allowed many migrants, Oaxacans, to become U.S. citizens, and some established uh, binational communities by living and working in the U.S. while returning to Oaxaca to care for their land. Yeah, so uh, there you have it. Now, this is documented, I believe, due to it being for the help of the Oaxacans during 1942 through 1964 with the World War II, helping uh, the supply of the food. There was a shortage of food during that time. So, it's is just, you know, I don't know why they try and hide the fact of the indigenous people in Mexico been coming through here for quite some time, and they were of my complexion. And the reason why I say of my complexion because we see that even the first president of Mexico, you can Google it as a first Mexican president, black. Wow. Yeah. The legacy of Vicente Gozero, Mexico, first black Indian president. Yeah. Yeah. So that was, let me read it here. It says when you click on it, Vicente Guerrero was the foremost surviving military hero of Mexico's wars of independence and one of the few great figures who had fought for independence throughout the entire period of 1810 to 1821 when many other military and political leaders changed sides repeatedly. Yeah. So there you have it. You know, um, uh, you know, that's first Black Indian. Yeah. So I mean, if you go there, they always talk about a certain president that come through, uh, Benito Juarez. He's very legendary, and he was of dark complexion. Again, if you look him up, you will see that Benito Pablo Juarez uh, Garcia was a Mexican lawyer and politician who served as the 26th president of Mexico from 1858 until his death in 1872. He was the first black, no, I'm sorry, it says he was the first president of Mexico who was of indigenous origin. And let's stop right there. And the reason why I say let's stop right there because Mr. Juarez, the president, uh, um, Mr. Juarez, was from Oaxaca and from the indigenous side of Oaxaca, as far as the mountain where Monte Alban is, where I had documented the ancient um, guardians of Monte Alban and who I have a relationship with to this day. Yes, he grew up there and I believe was born there. And I said all that to say as well, we are talking about Tomb 7, where at in the ancient ruins of Monte Alban, they have found a large treasure, and which helped propel Mexico to where it is today. So maybe that's why they look at him as such. But he was such a great man, did such great, awesome things, and I hear a lot about him. There's great statues all throughout Mexico concerning him, and not to mention colleges named after him. So I just wanted to bring that up in, uh, in light of those indigenous black Indians of Mexico migrating here way throughout um, history, and that now tells us different. But a lot of us is coming out telling the truth. I was just reading an article not too long ago, was talking about how it is going back 7,000 years that how the indigenous Mexicans coming through Southern California, they found corn, maize there that is going back to that date period. And we all know that maize, which is corn, come from Oaxaca. So, and that's on the flag as well of Washita. Our flag is the middle part, and that gold part stand for maize. And which reminds me of our late great Empress Verta C. Tierra Washita Turner Gosnell Bay, telling us how we're come from the Omax, which is within Mexico coming up. And so we are the mound builders, you know, and it's just going all the way back. But please be on the lookout for other documents that I will be recording concerning uh, Washita and the indigenous inhabitants of Mexico. And with that, I say continue to have a very blessed day, absolutely on purpose, as Mother Viola would say, shining bright star, and her mate, yes, Elder Hakeem, um, Screaming Eagle. Peace and love.